Hi, and welcome to the MHA Foundation podcast. I'm Jennifer Smith, and we're here today with Mike Patch. Mike, you are with Time Out Shelter, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would. We'd love to get to know you personally.
I've been here in Payson with Time Out for about 8 months now. Prior to that, I ran a Boys and Girls Club in New Mexico. I've worked at a children's theater in North Carolina. But I grew up in Arizona, and I grew up camping. My favorite place as a child, and when I was a Boy Scout to go camping, was up along the Highline Trail. And so I have bear stories and all sorts of things.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
But, well, my dog got into a fight with a cow last weekend up there, so...
Ah, yes. Okay, well, that sounds about par for the course. So you're the executive director of Time Out Shelter, is that correct? Or Time Out Inc., because it's more than just a shelter, right?
It's Time Out Inc. Because we have the thrift store, and many people don't understand the relationship between the thrift store and the shelter and whatever.
Sure.
But the thrift store basically serves two functions for us. One, it's a public face. As a shelter and in the service of safety for our clients, it's an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
So we can't have people coming in and out and touring and seeing. And so we have the thrift store, which raises money through the kind donations of people in the community, but it also serves as a place where we can talk about us and where we can have people meet or see or have the... get the information from us.
And then too, part of your programs, don't your folks that you work with, don't they have programs for building skills like sewing and soap making and those types of things? And that's a distribution channel for those items too, right?
Absolutely. And, the purpose of some of those programs isn't you're taking a class to learn how to make soap. It's a matter of, we're going to do this with you and make this product that we can then sell off and whatever. But it's more you're doing something rote so that your mind can have time to relax, feel at ease. And we find in some of those programs, a simple art program, we may get more counseling and therapy out of that than one of our formal programs where we're putting everybody in a room and talking about what's happened.
Well, and there's great value in knowing that you made something. It just feels good to start with nothing and come out with a actual usable, enjoyable product like nice soap or some sort of sewing project or something like that. There's value there personally for the person who does that work.
Years ago, I worked as an electrician, and while I would never go back to that kind of work again, there was a fulfillment at the end of the day to see a product and to know that you did something that works.
Yes. And
so the idea of being able to build, decorate, learn, sew, make soap, and then we're going to sell it, there's a wonderful sense of fulfillment in that.
Absolutely. So the folks that your primary goal to support and work with, talk to us about the actual Time Out Shelter. What services do you offer? What does that look like? How long have you guys been serving the community? And tell us all about all of that.
This October will be 31 years that we've been in Payson and been serving the community. We run a 28-bed full-service shelter, which means if you're in an abusive relationship, you call an 800 number or you call our local number. Immediately, 24 hours a day, an advocate gets on the phone with you and makes sure that you're safe right now. Then they're going to help you get a safety plan or make a safety plan of how you stay safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they can find you a way through that. If there isn't a way, we've got a place right now where we can take you, we can put you up, we can make you safe this moment.
So you have partnerships with other similar sister organizations around the state?
There are 19 different similar shelters around the state, and if you're not safe, you feel you're not safe in Payson, we're going to work to put you up in Verde Valley or Mesa or whatever. Likewise, they're going to reach out to us and say, hey, can you help out? So at any given time, half of our population is from right here in Payson, and half of the population may be somebody that we're working with another organization to make sure they're safe. And
that reciprocity and the anonymity for some of the folks that need that safety is really important, definitely.
Of course, there's confidentiality and everything.
Yes.
We had a family that was being hunted, literally being hunted. And they had to go from shelter to shelter until the legal process was able to take hold and deal with their issue. But they literally, we were part of an effort that moved them around the state and kept them safe while that legal process played out.
That is really heavy. Wow. Amazing. So you serve not just women and children, men also are in this situation.
Absolutely. It is frightening. Our culture is such that only 30 years ago, women didn't talk about this much.
Right.
We're only now talking about the fact that men can suffer from domestic violence too.
Of course. Absolutely. Wow. Well, given that, do you have any statistics or anything to tell us about how many people that you have served or...
Well, in the first 30 years, we served over 4,000, almost 5,000 people in shelter itself, and another 6,000 in the greater community that weren't in shelter.
Sure.
Just in the last year, we did. And I'd have to look at my notes exactly. But we had more people in shelter than we've had since 2018. It's sad to say, but
the need is there.
The need is there. Part of our vision is we would love to see a day when we put ourselves out of business.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that day is no point soon, and we continue to work and work with all the resources in the community. There are some wonderful things through the county and whatever that helps both feed us. And the thing is about... we handled over 890 emergency calls last year.
Wow.
Those calls come in, and maybe 2/3, half are actually calls where they need us. But they need something. They're in a crisis situation, and they need help somehow.
And usually right now.
And they need help right now, and it could be 2 a.m. We have a network of other agencies that we work through in the community and around the state where we can turn to and say, okay, this is a domestic violence shelter. We're going to help you get in touch with X and get them over there. And if they're calling for us, we're there for them 24/7.
That's amazing. So we've talked about some heavy stuff, but I know that your board is... and of course yourself, you all are passionate about what you do, and there's some actually really exciting things that you're working on, and very uplifting programs that you are engaged in as well. Can you tell us about some of that? Part of our efforts, because it is such a heavy subject, and we could go into stories that I guarantee I can make you cry. 100%. But that's not what we're here. That's not why anybody does anything to look at the bad side of it. Right. We're about the hope in it. Because there's a shelter, people have hope of getting out of a situation. Because we offer programs after that, people have hope of building a different life and having a different future. Absolutely. And so we're all about the hope. Part of that, October is Domestic Violence Month. I wore my purple. I saw that. Thank you very much. A little pin on the collar here. Yeah. Domestic Violence Awareness Month is October. And just before October every year, we do something called Lanterns on the Lake. Okay. And Lanterns on the Lake, I think this will be the 4th year we're doing it. The town of Payson has now come on and is a full partner in it. We're working with a number of other organizations to have a presence, to share information. But it is a hope event. It is not a sad event. It is not a fundraiser. We don't charge anybody to be there. We invite food trucks. We invite some corporate partners to help us with the cost of some of the lanterns that go in there, but we don't make any money on the event. It's an event purely to, one, remember those who've been through it,
and to showcase the hope.
Absolutely. A true community event.
Absolutely. Last year, I think about 300 lanterns were launched into Green Valley Lake. And this year, we're hoping for even more than that. You can see some of the lanterns we got here. This year, we got 2 colors.
Oh, nice.
And anybody who's interested can come along and get a hold of us, and we'll get them a lantern that they can decorate, and they can actually launch it. Or if they come that day, we will have tables set up that they can decorate and launch one. Of course, they don't have to be decorated. That's not what it's about. Sure. But through our community partners, we've got kids from the middle school, from one of their athletic clubs, who'll be out there in kayaks collecting and guiding and moving the lanterns as we go. We do a full walk, a memorial walk around the lake itself. We have some discussion and events and people with information. And then we launch these things, and it truly is beauty and silence and memory and hopefully some hope.
Certainly. Absolutely. Well, given that, what are some of the opportunities that you have coming up where the community can get involved and participate and help to provide this hope for the community?
We're always reaching out to people to help if they've got specific skills that can help heal. We will background check them and bring them in and have them help at the shelter.
Okay, so if somebody loves to quilt, they could come and help teach people how to quilt.
Absolutely. If somebody, we've been making soap for a long time. Doesn't mean we just need to make soap. We can do any sort of project.
Absolutely. Aromatherapy, lotion making, all kinds of fun things.
But we also can use just anybody's help over at the thrift store.
Oh, sure.
We sort products, we fix products, we clean products. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to throw out products because they're not right to go on the floor. But we are constantly needing help over there. So there's always opportunity to help. With that said, we do a variety of other fundraisers and events throughout the year. We have a casino night coming up. We typically do, most years have a golf tournament. We do other things where we're trying to raise awareness and visibility. We are currently raising funds to hopefully have a new shelter soon. MHA has been a partner in some of that, and we're currently working on some new designs and some new thoughts on how we get there and what we can do, because nobody wants to come into shelter.
No.
It's not a positive place to be, but we physically want it to be as helpful and healing as possible.
Sure.
And, we've been an organization for over 30 years. We're in a building, one of our buildings is over 50 years old. And so we want something that is built specifically to help with the healing process, not where I'm having to put shower doors back on railings on a regular basis.
Absolutely. You don't need to add compound crisis. Well, Mike, thank you so much for sharing with us and for joining us today. I really appreciate you. And I know, speaking from the community and also on behalf of the MHA Foundation Board, thank you for all the work that you, your board, your employees, all of your volunteers, and the community that works with you. We really appreciate you. Your service is so valuable for our community and for the state, really. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to working together again in the future.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.